Spoilers ahead. Watch out, and take care. The movie begins with a CIA field agent named Bradley Fine. After leaving a party, he arrives at a location with a gun, where an arms dealer is present. Bradley demands, "Where is the bomb? You have only 10 seconds. Suddenly, his gun is knocked away, and he ends up killing the arms dealer. Meanwhile, Susan Cooper, a 40-year-old CIA analyst, is introduced. She stays in contact with Bradley through a Bluetooth earpiece. Next, the CIA boss briefs them about their mission. The boss shares information about weapons, and shows a picture of a woman named Raina. She explains that Raina is a high-profile individual, who has been living in London for the past 10 years, and has connections with various terrorist organizations. A photo of Salsa Dudaev, an Al-Qaeda associate, is also shown. The boss reveals that they have evidence that Dudaev possesses dangerous machinery. Bradley is assigned the mission to capture Raina. He reaches Raina's house, while Susan monitors everything from the spy office. She watches his every move, and provides him with guidance and instructions. When he enters the room where Raina is, security guards attack him, but he swiftly takes them down. Raina enters the room, and points a gun at him. She reveals she knows his name, Bradley Fine, and that he is a CIA agent. She then names other CIA agents, including Matthew, Rick Ford, and Karen Walker, asserting that she knows all their active agents. She warns him to stay away from her, and then shoots him. Helpless, Susan watches the scene unfold from her office, unable to intervene. She notices a piece of paper beside Bradley, and takes a photo of it, sending it to her CIA colleague Nancy, asking her to enhance the image. The enhanced photo reveals a number and the word, Paris. The CIA boss calls a meeting with all the employees, explaining that Raina has likely hacked their entire system. She is about to sell a tactical weapon to a terrorist organization, but the exact location of the bomb remains unknown. The boss praises Susan for her insight, revealing that Raina has a contact named DeLuca, who is involved with the terrorist group. The team decides to assign a detective to track DeLuca and Raina, and the detective will need to work undercover. However, Rick Ford, another CIA agent, disagrees with assigning this task to Susan, considering her incompetent for the mission. The boss interviews Susan, directing her on her new assignment, which is a track and report mission. Susan is given a fabricated identity, as the mother of 4 named Carl. The boss emphasizes that Susan cannot contact her directly, and must only track and report. A single mistake could result in terrorists obtaining a nuclear bomb. From the spy team, Susan receives some unconventional weapons, including a whistle, antifungal spray, and pepper spray. Disguised in her new identity, she flies to Paris, feeling both afraid and excited. She checks into a hotel named Motel. To her surprise, Ford is already in the room, and criticizes her again, saying, "You're just spoiling the whole mission." The next morning, she sets out to find DeLuca's office. When she arrives at the location, she discovers it has been scorched. A man there shows her a photo of the office after it was demolished, which includes a suspect in the picture. Later, she spots the same suspect outside the hotel. She follows him as he pursues Ford. The man swaps his bomb bag with Ford's rucksack. Susan shouts a warning to Ford, but he doesn't hear her. As the man enters a crowded area, where a concert is being held, Susan takes the stage, and grabs a microphone, informing Ford about the bag, who opens the bag and finds the bomb. He throws it into a nearby lake, causing a massive explosion. The crowd panics and flees, but they are safe. Determined, Susan chases the suspect, who takes her photo as she follows him. She remains in contact with Nancy, and chases the man into a building, ultimately killing him as he falls from the building. The CIA boss calls her, ordering her to return. However, she insists she can accomplish this task, and has saved many people. The boss, satisfied with Susan's performance, assigns her a new identity, Penny Morgan, a divorced housewife. With this new identity, she sets off to complete her mission in Rome, where DeLuca's presence has been detected. In Rome, she meets a man named Aldo, who tells her that DeLuca spends his nights at the casino. When she tries to enter the casino, the checker informs her that her name is unlisted. Ford, who is also there, steps in and declares her his partner, pulling her aside in anger, and asking why she is there. Inside the casino, she spots Raina, and notices a man spiking Raina's drink. Despite her desire for revenge, since Raina killed Bradley, Susan realizes that if Raina dies, the secret of the bomb will be lost. She warns Raina about the drink, saving her life. Grateful, Raina becomes friendly and invites her into her inner circle, revealing plans to leave for Budapest. Raina takes her on her private jet, explaining that it belonged to her father. She nostalgically tells her, "You remind me of my mother," and offers her a drink, which turns out to be drugged. When she regains consciousness, she realizes Reyna has drugged her, and has discovered her true identity as a CIA agent. Suddenly, the jet is attacked, and the pilot is killed, causing the aircraft to start crashing. Susan quickly heads to the cockpit, and manages to stabilize the aircraft, saving herself and Reyna. Thinking quickly, she lies about her identity again, convincing Reyna that her name is Amber Valentine, and that she was hired by Reyna's father as a private bodyguard. Reyna accepts this explanation, but warns her of dire consequences if she is lying. Upon arriving in Budapest with Reyna, Susan contacts Nancy, while walking down the street. Unexpectedly, she bumps into Nancy, who reveals that she tracked Susan through her earpiece device. Reyna, noticing the interaction, becomes suspicious, and immediately confronts them. Suddenly, Reyna is attacked. Susan protects her, and entrusts her to Nancy's care, while Susan pursues the attacker, who is fleeing in a car. She commandeers a scooter from a nearby man, and chases through the busy streets. After a difficult pursuit, she catches up to the car, and discovers Karen Walker inside, a traitor who sold the names of the agents to Reyna. Before she can act, Karen is murdered by an unknown assailant. Next, Susan is in a new outfit, attending a party with Reyna, who criticizes her for not dressing appropriately, and for wearing gloves. She then instructs Susan to keep an eye on a specific girl, showing her a photo on her mobile phone. Ford is also at the party, disguised. He and Susan argue, but their confrontation is cut short when the girl Reyna pointed out arrives. Susan follows the girl outside the party, and manages to knock her unconscious. After some time, Reyna arrives at the place, where Susan is held captive, and to Susan's surprise, Bradley also appears. It is revealed that Bradley wasn't dead, Reyna did not kill him. Susan is shocked, but Reyna's security team knocks her unconscious, making her a captive alongside Aldo. Bradley approaches the bound Susan, and explains everything. He tells her that he had to fake his death to gain Reyna's trust. Karen had sold the agents' names to Reyna, so Reyna knew about their agents. Bradley has been undercover longer than Susan, and couldn't trust anyone in the agency. He reveals that Reyna does not know Susan's identity as a spy. He then says he is going to meet DeLuca and Salsa Dudaev, to learn about the bomb, and leaves. Determined, Susan and Aldo manage to escape, and follow Bradley. She takes a new car, and heads to DeLuca's villa, closely trailing Bradley, who is on a mission related to DeLuca. At the villa, DeLuca welcomes Reyna and Bradley, but grows suspicious of Bradley, knowing he has been a CIA agent, and points his gun at Bradley, suspecting betrayal. Taking a gun, Susan reaches the villa, and when DeLuca demands her identity, she boldly declares, "I am CIA agent Susan." She claims to have been mistreated by the CIA, and insists she is there to save Bradley, because she cares for him. Through a persuasive conversation, she manages to win their trust, expressing her willingness to go to any length to protect Bradley. DeLuca, somewhat convinced, warns if she or her partner cross him, he'll kill both. Shortly after, Salsa Dudaev arrives, and is welcomed by DeLuca, who hands him a briefcase full of diamonds. Reyna then takes them inside, and reveals the nuclear bomb device. Seeing the nuclear bomb, DeLuca suddenly turns on Salsa Dudaev, pointing a gun at him, and ultimately shooting him. He orders his security guards to load the nuclear bomb and the briefcase of diamonds into a helicopter, planning to sell the diamonds to a buyer. He then points his gun at Reyna. At this critical moment, Ford arrives, creating a distraction, just as DeLuca was about to shoot. Seizing the opportunity, Susan opens fire, taking down several men. DeLuca, enraged, aims at Susan, but Bradley steps in, taking a bullet in his arm. Furious, Susan tackles DeLuca. As he retreats to his helicopter, where the diamonds and the device have been loaded, she arrives just as the helicopter takes off. In a daring move, she grabs onto the helicopter's tail section, hanging on for dear life. But she manages to pull herself into the helicopter. Once inside, she quickly throws the nuclear device and the briefcase of diamonds into the lake below. DeLuca, infuriated by her actions, becomes violent and prepares to shoot her. At that moment, Nancy, who is in another helicopter, uses her gun to attack him, and it hits him, causing him to become a casualty of his own violence. With DeLuca incapacitated, Susan takes control of the helicopter, skillfully landing it safely. Meanwhile, the nuclear bomb is retrieved from the water, and Reyna is taken into custody. The CIA boss and other officers arrive at the scene, commending Susan for her bravery and quick thinking. Her mission is a success, and she has not only saved many lives, but also secured a dangerous weapon and valuable intelligence for the agency. Aldo reveals himself to be an MI6 agent named Albert. Ford, realizing he had underestimated Susan, finally compliments her skills. Bradley invites her to dinner, but she opts for a night out with Nancy. Next morning, she wakes up in bed next to Ford and screams, while he claims she loved it. The end. Thank you for watching. Subscribe if you'd like to see more videos like this. Turn on the notifications, and leave a like to help the channel out.